Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Virgo December 9, 2021. Your opinion is extremely important. Manage your energy as is most convenient for you, but try not to leave the cycles open. Therefore, you should rebuild yourself little by little even though it takes you time to do so. With the conjunction between the Sun and Mercury, you could feel that everything is turned upside down, but now better than ever you would release some regrets. Take care of yourself above all, in this time so inconvenient that suddenly it makes you feel that you could not with responsibilities and energies that come over you, and that would cause you a series of delicate problems. You would have tried to stop, but now it is practically impossible for you. With the moon in the regency, it would be necessary for you to reconsider what you are doing. A good idea has come to you, which would not necessarily be the brightest, but it would be enough to allow you to adjust to critical moments of the day. It is time for you to avoid inconveniences later. With Libra as your witness, you would feel decked out. Today you will need to reach an opinion agreement. Perhaps you and your loved one have opposite points of view. It's easy to stay rigid and compete for control. But it is better to adopt a win-win attitude and find the solution that works for both of you. Try to have constructive discussions. As long as you stay positive, it will be easier to find the answers. This day, you can't stop finding things to do. Take some time to relax. Your form regains a better level. You feel confident to face what must be. Do not disperse yourself in sterile words. You have to face an argument or a family disagreement. It is important to take into account the needs and emotional states of those close to you, without allowing them to offload their responsibilities onto you or take advantage of your tolerance. To avoid mistakes or misunderstandings, think before you act, before you speak, or before embarking on unlikely adventures. Also, be careful not to fuel the controversy in a couple. The serene dialogue is always preferable. You would have an increase in pressure, perhaps because of some unpleasant earrings that now have turned into a headache that would suddenly make you change some aspects of your life. Slow down little by little. Let a person prepare you to do the right thing with your health, your diet, and your balance. Today, you cannot trust communication. It is not that people are directly lying to you, but rather that they are not careful in what they say. The result will be a day full of comic errors, as the instructions are misinterpreted and the meaning is distorted. At the end of the day, the nerves cannot take it anymore and an explosion is imminent. Disappear while you can. If Uranus opens the doors of unparalleled sagacity to you, it could also expose you to some dysfunctions of the lymphatic system. For better blood circulation, have simple reflexes. Start by hydrating yourself well. If you smoke, reduce or stop using it. Walk regularly, cycle, do yoga, or swim. Know that the simple act of raising your legs will also benefit you. If you have to listen to someone who is a person who has visibly grown financially, what you are doing with that example would keep you away from the crisis that unexpectedly keeps you in bad vibes. That from now on, you have the tools with the number 7 in the regency to follow the steps that are much more useful for you. Today seems to be a day of few solutions. At the end of a meeting with your colleagues, you will realize that many of the questions were left unanswered. Prepare a list of issues that need fixing today. Put your full attention there and let the other things slide. Be very careful with your calculations, as errors are likely to arise. Do your best and redouble your efficiency. You will be working a lot today and you will be in great demand. Do not shy away from the task at hand because, in the end, it is certainly your zeal and your tenacity that will destroy the arguments of your detractors. On this day, you will not lack influence on your material life. You spontaneously base your decisions on solid criteria. You won't leave any room to chance when it comes to your finances. Consolidating your achievements is favored. You would have an important task to give direction to your love life. You would have tried enough to get someone to reciprocate suddenly, but now that you are not certain about it, it begins to be more adventurous even though nothing is smiling at you. That is, the attitude would be essential for things to get on your side. You may decide to work with someone on a special project. Perhaps you are involved in a challenging task at your job. You could feel overwhelmed because you have been assigned too much responsibility. You will feel better if you share the load with someone. See if a coworker is willing to help. Perhaps they can connect to collaborate, forming a new alliance. Considering the bad aspects of Jupiter, you could have a busy day on the sentimental front. If you are in a relationship, your spouse will blame you for your lack of investment and sharing. And he is not wrong. For some natives, it is their past in love that hinders them in expressing their feelings. For others, it is the fear of expressing their emotions. However, one thing is certain: it will make an effort to spice up your life together if you don't want your relationship to erode. You could make the most of your work, resort to a specialty, training, or some type of energy that makes you feel that you have the best of you at your disposal regarding your work environment. Now that you have seen that your effort feels more regency than before, you would let Libra do the same to keep you in good energy. Today, someone from your work might need an understanding shoulder to cry on. The stress of work becomes impossible for some to endure, so don't be surprised if a colleague sheds a few tears. You will realize that your patience goes beyond normal limits. On days like this, it is better to finish your work as quickly as possible, stay focused, finally go have a drink when you leave work, and have a nice walk home. Some natives will benefit from an unexpected inflow of money. In a private setting, it may be a donation made by a relative to anticipate an inheritance, or even state aid in the context of the renovation of a home, for example. In the workplace, you will receive a bonus on your salary, a not insignificant bonus. Know how to protect this money, but do not make investments for the long term. You may need it in the coming months. You will be hesitant about the best way to handle a complicated situation involving someone you know. If after careful consideration you finally decide to take leave of this relationship, don't let the fear of change, or the lure of habit, convince you to back down. Keep in mind the reasons that motivated your choice in the first place. According to the proverb, in any separation, there is the promise of a nuisance, that of being oneself again.